Alright, this one has to be a harem. I know the tag is missing, but it has everything to be considered one. I can't avoid this anime ever since its release, because the first episode was censored when it aired, and the story didn't seem that interesting. Well, one of the two has changed, because anime has a lot of nudity and fanservice. This is one of the better titles of the ecchi genre, while keeping the same nonsensical narrative structure I get used to over the past 3 years. I love anime boobs, and this show has plenty of that, in various shapes and sizes. Nothing too exaggerated, nor too big or too small, but enough difference in size to make it fun to watch and easily to observe. And classify the girls in regard with their bosoms. Even the wife themselves talk about their breast size, and of course we have a slender brunette who's jealous of the big bouncy voluptuous blonde bimbo.
First things first, we girls will give you the grand tour. This lonely loser can wait in his room till we're done.
It's a well-known combo to have the mean brunette be more aggressive on the hot blonde. It worked perfectly in Haganai. While there, it keeps the story fun and engaging. Sadly, it is only the fanservice and the fun beautiful waifus which keep the anime together. The narrative is very weak, one of the weakest stories ever for the infamous ecchi genre. You can have a lot of fanservice and nudity and still have an awesome story like in Queen's Blade, or simply deliver an engaging impressive action like in Keijo. Here we have to rely on the explicitity of every scene to make them memorable and interesting. The usual clichés are here combined with half-ass romance about some weird alien entities and this weird story that they're coming to Earth to steal erotic energy. Here come the HxEroes, a bunch of horny girls and a confused male who want to get naked and save the day while getting aroused. The dub is pretty good and the overall series is easy to consume. The story is obviously a bit weak and there are little to no cat arcs. There's not much development in any of the girls except for Kirara Hoshino.
Even so! Did you say your name's Piranha?
No, it's Kirara. And could you not touch me?
She kinda is the main chick and the wife who Enjoy finally decides to favorize at the end of the series. At first she was prudish, mean and strict, disciplinary girl with principles and an iron will over the purrs from the school.
I think that's about enough of this trash! Can't you tell you're making your classmates uncomfortable? Why don't you go to the bathroom?
Once she's been introduced to the world of HxEroes, she starts to discover her sexual energy sit at her body and slowly admit to being a lewd and naughty person. Funny thing, when she was young, Hoshino used to be a bit more direct and aggressive. In her lust, for some reason, she became a bit more timid and reluctant towards boys, as she became a total babe. She might be in high school, but those titties are simply huge, and the beautiful bounce she has jiggles perfectly as she runs in her swimsuit through the hallway. She has perfect measurements. While the other girls from the dormitory all have special quirks to make their personalities more distinct and interesting, it is the blonde, short girl who seems to have the upper hand in every possible attribute, booty, and overall looks. Her face is super pretty, with a proud expression and some big, beautiful eyes to go to her succulent, voluptuous figure. Now, Kirara Hoshino kinda has a little arc at the beginning of the anime. She experiences some sort of development as she discovers her hidden erotic powers and tendencies to reveal as much of her beautiful body as possible. Well, amazing girl, overall complete babe. I gotta emphasize how this show is out of nudity, DxD and to love rule level fanservice. So many ecchi scenes have truly enhanced this otherwise boring and unorganized story. The premise is a rip of every magical girl show, then add a bit of Power Rangers and some obvious hero tropes to get yourself an easy excuse to have cute teenage girls fight spirits in their skimpy flashy uniforms. Don't worry, once they send an attack, the clothes disappear and we get them completely naked for everyone to see. They're all white and silky smooth. I really enjoy seeing such feminine beauty, cuteness, while some random action sequences try to interrupt the flow of my enjoyment. Just like the story, the action is a bit pointless and kinda unengaging. It's a shame because the art style is good and the random action and the characters are fun and enjoyable in other aspects aside from their perfect amazing bodies. We have the Kiseiju, which are these weird aliens looking humanoid bugs who see the sexual energy of young people to stop them from reproducing, therefore usher to stop them from reproducing and therefore usher an end to mankind, as birth rates will plummet and humanity will eventually go extinct within a century. The Super HxEroes are combating the evil entities, and so far our main team is doing quite an impressive job in keeping the city safe, also attending school or simply managing their weird hobbies and special activities. As I mentioned before, Hoshino is rather reluctant to get naked and fight crime alongside her team. Once she starts to have more personal contact with Angel, she starts to remember the day when she was the one trying to lose her friend.
Let's start by both putting a hand on each other's chests.
Wait! Are you kidding me? That's totally crazy!
Our blonde people slowly start to show her powers and gets more risque with each encounter. I was kind of used to see her display incredible potential and destructive power, to have her unable to properly control abilities, and have an episode dedicated to her finding the will to overcome her weakness and embrace her identity. It's a very typical scenario. It's an easy way to add a bit of depth to her character. The best interactions she has are with the slender, tsundere, aggressive, and insecure fellow HxEroes, Momozono.
You little thief! Give me my panties back right now!
She was rather excited to have a big person bimbo join the team, and at first seemed friendly enough to touch and tease Hoshino. However, once her breast size have made their point, Moka started to envy her fellow hero. Her sex appeal was too much for her to handle, and felt a bit overmatched in comparison with the new competition.
But I happen to be a hero. When it comes to turning boys on, I can lick you any day of the week. Just know that.
I like how determined the brunette was in telling her rival that she is still willing to compete regardless of her disadvantages.
Sorry about that. Our Momoka has zero patience for anyone whose breasts are bigger than hers.
Oh, great, thanks.
The voices of these characters really fit their personalities and behavior. Momoka seems at the beginning to be the more capable and determined of them all. She was the second one to be completely naked on the screen, who had the determination not to be bothered by her lack of clothing. I like her confidence and ability to impose herself on the battlefield and in the dormitory. She might be grabbing boobs too much, but her advice are always productive and well placed. She's the one who advises pornography as a way to build energetic, erotic energy, and seems to be naive enough to fall for false breast enlargement techniques.
Now that you're a hero, you've got to focus on your sexual drive every day.
What?
Another girl from the team who could rival Hoshino is Mahime. Her body is just fake and voluptuous, her big titties and a cute and some pure voice to go along with her white, silky-like skin. Mahi has more or less a supersonic rip-off. She looks like an idol and even enjoys attending an all-girls private school. She has a best friend who is energetic and slightly perverted. This is usually what main characters get.
My heart won't stop racing.
Feel that stiff breeze?
So Mahime kinda is her own protagonist alongside Angel and his beloved favorite childhood friend Hoshino. As I was checking some character bios online, I noticed our lucky main character also has a sister. What a beauty. Sadly, she hasn't made an appearance in the animated adaptation, but I can only imagine the numerous erotic adventures and encounters he enjoys with her in the manga. The show says a furry. Sadly, if you're not a cat girl, I tend to not like other female hybrid types of fetishes. They only can mimic the other girls and bring that to more erotic eccentric, edgy scenarios.
Gross! Maybe watch where you're looking! You're such a perv!
I guess the furry has a valid purpose in the story and harem, but really not my type to have such a tiny loli alongside my waifus. Kinda like the small girl from Yuna and the Hot Springs. Speaking of which, in that anime, Yaya, the character, was sometimes sleeping during the day, partially naked next to the Harem King. He would have Sora Tenkuji to spontaneously invade the bedroom of our main character.
Tenkuji!
Morning, Redo. What are you doing sleeping in my room?
We've been over this before.
Shirtless is naked alongside him, showing her modest but beautiful female breasts. Her skin looks so soft and her body is feminine in shape but fatty and smooth to the touch. Her voice is so befitting to her introvert personality, the laid-back behavior. She's usually busy spending time alone or doing activities which tend to gather the last attention. She might seem harmless and prudish, but in reality she's a rather perverted girl who comes to grab boobs whenever it suits her hobbies. It turns out she's a hentai artist and fantasizing about Hoshino.
I think I found her. My ex-heroine.
It's kinda funny how creepy and scary she can get when excited for her art, but still, thankfully, for us the blonde people is more than willing to pose naked before her and satisfy her erotic energy.
Is with a few blackmail photos.
What are you talking about?
Because, unlike the others,
Another character I like from the series is rather episodic, Shiko Murasame, first introduced as a rival ex-hero who had the attitude of a thug and the modesty of a hoe, but after Angel managed to tame her, she became fantasized by him and started to follow our protagonist around. Usually I prefer white waifus, dark skin is fine, I guess, but rather have them pale or silky snow.
Yo, what's up?
Oh, good morning, Murasame.
Take it. I used ingredients that'll help boost your energy. Also, good luck with your HxEroes exterminating.
However, if you can have a promiscuous dominant gal enter the harem, you better make her skin darker in tone to emphasize her erotic potential and to reinforce clear archetypes. I like how she's even trying to win Angel over with more direct old school methods, like giving him food or trying to show how good of a person she can actually be when stimulated by someone she likes. She tries to give him gifts. She tries to make herself look hot to get him aroused. She tries to show him the best side of her, the beauty. I give Super HxEroes a generous 6.8 out of 10. The story is weak. The characters are not that original or memorable, but it is good and abundant. The naked female bodies are drawn with a passion, and the fan service is off the charts every single episode. If you like ecchi, you will love this anime.